Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me here at the WITN First Alert Desk. I'm Hannah Hutter, and I'll be bringing you your news and weather updates for this Thursday. We do have an update to Monday's Wilson County Courthouse shooting. The SBI this morning has charged the suspect with trying to kill 4 law enforcement officers. The new charges against Abdul Mustafa are in addition to charges filed on Monday by Wilson County deputies. Mustafa was charged by the SBI with 4 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of shooting into an occupied vehicle. Warrants say Mustafa tried to kill Wilson police officer Michael Harrell, Officer Jack Davies, Officer Tanisha Green, and Wilson County Deputy Christopher Bissett. He's also accused of shooting twice into Officer Green's patrol vehicle on Tarboro Street, a block from the courthouse. On Monday, the 21-year-old was charged with attempted murder, going armed to the terror of the public, discharging a firearm within city limits, and damage to real property. Sheriff Calvin Woodard said deputies were called around 10:40 a.m. Monday for a possible active shooter at the courthouse on Nash Street. Woodard says that security footage shows Mustafa dressed in black with a hoodie, stepping away from a bench in front of the courthouse and walking toward 19-year-old Latoya Lucas as she heads inside. Court documents say Mustafa shot the woman several times in the head. Deputies say that Mustafa ran several blocks before exchanging gunfire with deputies and a Wilson police officer, where he was hit in the arm by gunfire and treated at the hospital. 2 more people were charged with helping Mustafa before the shooting. 18-year-old Jalexis Applewhite and 28-year-old Terry Covington have both been charged with felony accessory before the fact. An investigation found that the 3 suspects, including Abdul Mustafa, showed up to the courthouse on Monday together. Applewhite and Covington allegedly went inside the district court to confirm if the victim, Latoya Lucas, was inside. Authorities say that when they learned she was not inside, Mustafa waited outside on a nearby bench until she arrived. Mustafa is being held without bond on the new charges, and he will appear in court tomorrow. We are going to head over now to weather with forecaster Dustin Staples. Things are really ramping up in terms of heat. Of course, we were expected to have a first alert weather day for that heat today. Not quite seeing that anymore, but first alert weather days are on our radar moving forward. So we're going to send it over to Dustin with the latest.
All right, as we go towards the rest of your Thursday, I want to give you a recap of the drought monitor. And I know we've been talking about this. This seems like the never-ending story here across Eastern Carolina. A little help. There was a little help here for some of our areas along I-95 heading into 264. The Triangle area did see a little bit of reduction in that thanks to recent rain. Also back towards the Outer Banks here, starting to see some improvements, especially towards inland Hyde and Dare counties, over towards Terrell and Washington counties as well, getting back to some slightly near average drying conditions now. So of course these areas up here obviously had several inches of rain, almost a foot of rain in a matter of a week. And the thing about that was only in a given about 2 days here they saw a lot of that rainfall, but the remaining of the area still dealing with that moderate to not extreme drought. So a little bit better continues to be a part of our drought monitor as well. So that's your Thursday drought update, but obviously the main story tomorrow is the heat, the building heat back again. This is another round of some intense heat forecast. And again, if you've been with us here, we had today and Saturday first alert weather days, but obviously due to the intense the smoke from the Canadian fires dipping down to the Mid-Atlantic states, that is actually reducing our high temperatures here over the next couple of days. So that'll help us stay a little bit slightly cooler, but not enough to be on the cooler side. But tomorrow still that intense heat. And then again, we're watching for a few scattered showers, storm chances heading into Saturday, Sunday next week as well. A lot of our areas still seeing the potential for some stronger to isolated storms later on Saturday and Sunday evening. But again, the heat indices here between about 103 and 108, give or take as well. All right, tonight again, a mix of this is clouds, some haze, again filtering in from those fires later on tonight. You're going to be dealing with that. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up in the mid-70s, near 80, and then we're going to get a brunt of that Canadian smoke kind of really dipping its way down to the afternoon, which is going to really suppress a lot of thunderstorm development. But again, can't rule an isolated chance of a quick shower or storm for some of us tomorrow afternoon. Not area-wide, unfortunately, but some rain for some of our areas. It's kind of scattered out there as well. And you see the heat indices, even tomorrow morning, it's going to feel like the upper 80s, low 90s out there, and then we're going to race again to near 100 for another day on top of that. Heading into Saturday as well, not as hot, but the good news is that rain chance will actually keep us a little bit cooler. Even into Sunday, too, we'll still see some heat indices between 101 and 102, but a lot of that rain obviously will help us cool down on the nice thing about that. So again, level 2 risk of storms for half the area coming up on Saturday, north the Albemarle Sound towards the state line, south of 264, and a level 1 risk. And the storm prediction is also watching an area coming up on Sunday as well. You kind of see some of our areas in a kind of a small chance of development here late in the afternoon. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. But you see here the model data showcases again those scattered shower storms develop late Saturday. They'll fall apart into early Sunday morning. Again, watch what happens with another frontal boundary coming in late in the afternoon, holding steady out here. Watch again for some scattered to intense thunderstorms. Those rain chances remain to the higher level to the northern state line, but south of the area still seeing a better chance of rain. When all is said and done, we'll probably pick up another 1 to 2 inches of rain. So another helping of scattered showers and storms. We're going to get quite windy here as we go towards the coast on Sunday, dealing with highs in the 80s there. Still going to feel like the low to mid 90s. And then again late next week, obviously with the first alert weather day tomorrow, the weekend again, the hot start continues to linger through early next week here. Watching again for that chance of some scattered showers, storms late Monday to Tuesday. It's all going to be dependent on the tropics and whether or not if that little system does develop, it stalls off our coastline long enough to throw back some tropical moisture. Still a little bit early with that, but just indicate we'll watch a few scattered showers and storms.
All right, well, thank you, Dustin, for that update for us here this afternoon. We are going to turn now to a fresh look into the Scott Peterson case. A new documentary revisits his murder trial, delving into what it says are unexplored angles supporting Peterson's longstanding claims of innocence. We have NBC's Liz Kreutz, who has an exclusive clip from the new special.
Police say Peterson killed his pregnant wife, Lacey, then dumped her body in the San Francisco Bay.
This morning, an exclusive look at A&E's new documentary that examines alternative theories and evidence in the notorious case of Scott Peterson, who is currently serving a life sentence without parole for the 2004 murders of his wife, Lacey, and their unborn child, Connor.
There is new science that suggests that Scott Peterson is innocent.
In the two-part doc, host Chris Pixley retraces Peterson's steps the day Lacey disappeared, raising questions about the integrity of the investigation and exploring the LA Innocence Project's claims the prosecution's case against Scott Peterson doesn't add up.
And the Berkeley Marina, where Scott launched from, is to my left. And of course, the Los Angeles Innocence Project believes that all of the new scientific evidence points here to the Albany bulb as a possible place where Lacey's body would have been placed in the water in order to wind up where she was found at Point Isabel.
The doc also looks into handwritten notes allegedly penned by Lacey that suggest she was aware Peterson had purchased the fishing boat prosecutors say he used to dump her body, and that it wasn't a secret like the state alleged. The special also revisits the theory that Lacey's murder could have been connected to a burglary at the house across the street from their home, saying police dismissed potentially key witnesses too quickly.
There's so many witnesses who claim to have seen Lacey when she was supposed to have already been murdered.
I knew that's the same woman that I seen walking the dog.
But one of the lead detectives who worked the original case says those witnesses weren't seen as credible.
None of these people knew Lacey before this, and all these names were presented to the defense. They could have been called as witnesses.
This morning, Lacey Peterson's family also speaking out, her mother telling People there is no new evidence.